Those cold sores look disgusting. Why did you think I would even kiss you? Hell, I even regret coming to this state in the first place. These were the words that broke my heart into a million pieces. Just when I thought I had finally found someone who I could be with, herpes ruined my life once again. But I couldn't judge him. I looked hideous, and I wouldn't have wanted to be with myself either. The harsh truth is, my life started to fall apart a few years ago when I had my first outbreak, but this was the last drop. As soon as I got home, I went inside the house and did something I would have never thought I would be capable of. I looked for every pill I had in my bathroom drawer and grabbed a fistful of them, ready to swallow them and end this horrid life. But before the unthinkable was close to happening, I received a very strange phone call, one that saved my life and helped me in ways I would have never imagined possible. And so my unbelievable journey started, at the end of which I discovered the 100% natural solution that can help everyone rid themselves of herpes, and why the medical community is stunned by it, especially considering that it is dirt cheap, incredibly simple, and shockingly effective. This just shows how easy it is to treat cold sores and genital herpes and put an end to all this nightmare that arises in the most inappropriate moments in your life. No more of that. This powerful remedy is now bringing top pharma companies to their knees, proving once and for all that you can escape this terrible life sentence of having herpes. A method so potent it can erase any trace of this virus from your system, both HSV1 and HSV2, and it gives you back your life and your dignity in just a few weeks. It took me from looking like this every month to this, and gave me the energy and zest for life I had before this nightmare started. Look, I already know you've tried every possible treatment under the sun, probably in the form of acyclovir and its variations. And you've been told that herpes is something that doesn't just go away, no matter how much you try. But let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered why there is a treatment for every virus out there, from chickenpox to even polio, and yet there's no major breakthrough for herpes in the last 2 decades? The shocking answer to this riddle lies in the $4.8 billion being paid every single year by millions of innocent women and men that suffer from this terrible disease. Now, if you thought that Big Pharma's only lie was about the effectiveness of the medicine, you're in for a big surprise. There's one more lie, an even bigger one, that I will reveal to you right now. Do you know why exactly this virus stays dormant until a fateful day when it turns you into a hopeless victim, waiting for that gruesome rash to disappear from your face, or even worse, on your private parts, and destroying all your chances of being intimate with someone? Hint, it has little to do with the virus in itself, but with a recently discovered microorganism deficiency which actually acts just like a dormant soldier, preventing the herpes virus from multiplying inside your body, mouth, and genital area. In fact, emerging studies are now coming into the spotlight, some even published in the Harvard Medical Journal, the National Journal of Medicine, and half a dozen other major medical journals are finally showing that the reason why 95% of the population is practically herpes-free is all due to this herpes-blocking microorganism. Once you discover what this microorganism actually is, not only will you know that you hold the power to prevent the outbreaks from happening, but you will also rid yourself of the debilitating herpes virus, both HSV1 and HSV2 once and for all, in a matter of weeks. Even if you're 18 or 80 years old, no matter what your medical condition is, this 100% natural remedy is guaranteed to help you fight, prevent, and stop the appalling outbreaks from appearing in the most unsuitable moments. Join the other 132,000 women and men whose lives have turned around 180 degrees and are now able to smile wholeheartedly and enjoy every moment to the fullest. People such as Amanda Waller, 50, from Michigan, who told us, "I was completely devastated. I felt like the most unlucky person on earth. Right before every important event, the same thing kept happening over and over again. Cold sore outbreaks and excruciatingly painful itches took over my body, and I had no way of controlling them. I was terrified, but then I found out about your method. It was nothing short of a miracle. It's been 2 years since my last outbreak, and I have no one to thank but you." Or Samuel Jones, 44, from Ohio. "When my doctor looked me in the eye and told me that I was infected with HSV2, it felt like my whole world just crumbled. And it all happened in the worst moment possible. My wife was just returning home from a 2-month trip away. We have been waiting to reunite for so long, and now she was telling me that we couldn't even enjoy each other. But not too long after that, I stumbled upon your discovery. I must say, I was a little skeptical, but I needed a miracle at that point. And believe me when I say this, It was a miracle from above. My wife and I cannot thank you enough for this. And Barbara Fulton, 36, from New York, who said this: I was diagnosed with HSV-1 and HSV-2 about a year ago. The following months turned me into a wreck. Nobody wanted to date me, touch me, or have any contact with me whatsoever. I became desperate and depressed. I felt like my life wasn't worth living anymore. I was condemned to a life of humiliation. And what was worse was that no remedy on the market did anything to help me. Until I stumbled upon this gem. At that point, I was willing to try anything, so I said to myself, why not? Let me tell you that it was the best decision of my life. Now everything that happened in the past seems just like a bleak nightmare. The rashes are gone, the cold sores haven't appeared in months, and to be frank, I even found a guy that loves me, and I owe it all to you. These are just a few of the countless messages I receive on a daily basis. It always fills my heart with joy knowing that this method has changed so many people's lives for the better. And you know what? That number just keeps growing. Now, before I go on with this story, I want you to know a little bit about myself and my story, and how I stumbled upon this groundbreaking discovery that sent the herpes industry into complete shock, while saving thousands of honest American men and women the pain and the money they would have wasted on useless and side effect-filled antivirals, therapies, and treatments that just don't work. Hi there, my name is Pamela Sykes. I'm 38 years old and I own a small beauty salon in Los Angeles. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always been passionate about skincare, beauty, makeup, and how to make myself and other people look and feel better in their own bodies, using the most natural methods I could find to make their skin and hair softer and rejuvenated. That is why almost a decade ago, I decided to start my very own business in this field, making my dream come true. That took a lot of time, money, and sacrifices. While I always tried to balance my personal life with my work, I always wanted to make my customers happier and happier, so I was willing to work day and night for that. I can't say I don't have my regrets, but seeing my salon prosper and become more and more filled with satisfied customers by the day made my heart fill up with joy. But ever since the pandemic started, things haven't really been looking up. My business was shut down, and I lost plenty of customers during lockdown, since they didn't want to risk leaving their houses. It was one of the hardest periods in my entire life, and I think anyone can relate to that. But that wasn't even the worst thing that would happen. Now, before I continue with my story, I need you to know something about myself. Since beauty and skincare has always been my passion, I constantly try to maintain a good image via treatments, a healthy diet, exercise, and all that jazz. I was always the one with amazing, clear skin, always trying my best to look perfect. But that changed a little over 2 years ago in a way I couldn't even imagine it was possible. Around that time, I started feeling more stressed than usual. I noticed that I was anxious most of the time, my energy levels were low, and no matter how good I ate, my skin wasn't as good as it had been before. At first, I didn't pay much attention to it, but it all came crashing down after one day when I noticed this ugly, red crust at the lower edge of my bottom lip. I remember that day very clearly. I was still half asleep, brushing my teeth in the morning, when all of a sudden I felt my lips itching. When I looked closer, I saw that they were a little inflamed. Nothing too big, but it was still there. I told myself that I would go to the doctor the very next day, when I could clear my schedule. The rest of that day was just hell. The cold sores started spreading all over my mouth. The itching became unbearable, up to the point where it straight up turned into a hellish burn. I remember crying over the sink and taking a picture with my phone that day. Not to mention, I had to work on my clients while facing all that. It was kind of a good thing that we had to wear those masks because I could hide it from the people. But that didn't change how I felt. Every moment was dreadful, and the pain wouldn't stop. I remember that I had to close early that day and cancel a few appointments because I simply couldn't go on with that. When I finally got home and took my mask off, I almost screamed in shock. From something that in the morning looked like a mild irritation on the corner of my lip, it spread like a wildfire, burning my entire mouth. I knew I had to go to the doctor right away. The very next morning, I rushed to the doctor's office and showed him what I was going through. He diagnosed me with HSV-1, which is the form of oral herpes. I was in disbelief. I never had to worry about herpes, so why now? The doctor told me that the virus can be dormant in some people and manifest itself under certain conditions such as stress or low immunity. For some people, it's just a simple matter of time until the herpes simplex virus activates. I'm afraid you're one of the unlucky ones. A simple matter of time? He was telling me that not only will this virus wreck me, I won't even know when it's going to do that? He prescribed me a cream that I needed to apply every morning and throughout the day when I felt like the rash was becoming insufferable. I went home and did as he instructed me to, and I must say, it worked decently, and the cold sores disappeared for a few days. But only to come back stronger and itchier than before. At that point, I felt helpless. I tried every type of medication my doctor prescribed, and even consulted with 3 of the top dermatologists in the country. They all recommended the same things, which I took blindly, but nothing, absolutely nothing would work. I was truly desperate. There were days when I couldn't go to work because of how bad the sores were, and I lost many of my loyal customers like that. I mean, how could it have been any different? I was managing a beauty salon, and at the same time my mouth was covered in a sore, disgusting crust. Not to mention, this prevented me from seeing anybody else either. I started feeling very lonely. I was neglecting my business, my personal life, and I even stopped doing my daily skincare routine. What was the point of having good skin if my face was ravaged like that? I eventually tried the more expensive treatments. I was that desperate. It was like the Hydra from the story. Chop up one head, another 2 would take its place. Same with my herpes. Get rid of one cold sore, 2 others would occur, and they came back even stronger. Now, regarding my social life, at some point, things got a little better. I hoped so much that I even got back to my normal life, and somehow planned a date with a very nice man whom I liked quite a lot back then. But my world was about to come crashing down on me, once again. The day prior to that date, I was talking to one of my loyal clients, Eliza, and telling her all about my plans. Me and Eliza go way back. She was one of my first customers, and we kept in touch throughout the years and ended up being best friends. And so Eliza told me that she was very excited for me, and I needed to tell her how the date went. When I got home that night, I was doing my nightly routine when I saw something that made me cry. After a month without cold sores, they were there again, starting off mildly with that irritation in the corner of my mouth. I couldn't sleep that night. The stress kept me up, and when I finally managed to close my eyes, my last thought was, please let a miracle happen and get rid of this thing. Needless to say, it doesn't work like that. It was quite the opposite. I was suffering from the most severe cold sore I had ever seen before. The bottom half of my face was completely ravaged, and I was in deep, deep pain. I tried using some leftover creams and pills from the last time I had herpes outbreaks, but it felt like the virus was so accustomed to them that they had no effect anymore. But I was in no position to back down. I felt that if I missed that date, I would have missed my last chance of being with someone ever again. So I decided to put on a mask in order to hide the hideous rash that took over my face and go forth with it. Fast forward to the date, everything was going pretty well, except for the fact that it took everything I had not to scratch my face every 2 minutes and try to act normal. It was a good thing that we only went for a walk, and we didn't go to a restaurant or somewhere where I actually had to take my mask off. Of course, he kept insisting that I take it off, but I politely declined. He didn't stop there. He tried pulling me closer to him, trying to tease me and kiss me, but I kept pulling back. He must have thought that I was playing hard to get, but I was just trying to hide my dirty little secret from him. I was in constant fear, scared of what might happen if he saw me the way I really was. The date was almost over, and I felt that I could finally breathe a sigh of relief. And then it happened. He walked me home, and when we got in front of the door, he caught me off guard and pulled my mask down to kiss me. When he saw the way I looked, he shrieked in horror and took a step back. "Why didn't you tell me about it sooner? I clearly wouldn't have wasted my time with you if I knew you looked like this. I'm leaving, and don't call me again." I was completely devastated. My entire life was in shambles. My world came crashing down on me. The only good thing was that it happened in front of my house because I started crying instantly. That was the point where I started spiraling down. I shut myself inside my room, and I stood there in the dark for days. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep properly, and I felt like life wasn't worth living. I felt repulsive. I looked that way at least. The outbreaks kept happening, and I had no effective way of dealing with them. But you know what they say, the only way to go from down is up. After about 10 days of isolation, I received a call from my friend Eliza. She just wanted to check up on me since we haven't talked since the day before the date, and I told her all about my problem. "Oh, Pamela, why didn't you tell me about it sooner? Here, write this number down and call this doctor. I think he can help you out," she said. The number belonged to a certain Dr. Smith. After talking to her for a while, she told me that Dr. Smith is an incredibly smart doctor that is a member of the Prometheus Society, which is a group of highly intelligent individuals with a less than 2% admission rate. She managed to pique my curiosity, so I decided to give him a call. We scheduled a meeting and I told him everything about my problem and how I was unable to do anything about it. He simply smiled and told me this. Look, Pamela, I need to tell you something. Some years ago, I was on a team of top scientists, and we were told to research a solution for this virus and its variations, HSV-1 and HSV-2. We were researching something that is now called a cyclovir, but during our studies, some of the people stumbled upon something more powerful and more effective than that. One of them even came to me and told me this, Dr. Smith, I found something incredible. All I can tell you is this, it all starts in the gut. Needless to say, I was awestruck, but at that point he didn't want to tell me more. However, the day right after that, I saw a few big guys in suits carrying him and some other researchers out of their offices. Honestly, they looked like mafia muscle, although they weren't. They didn't leave any of the files behind either, and I haven't heard from them since. At that point, I was curious beyond words, but couldn't help to wonder, do they actually have a fix for all this and they're keeping it away from us? It seemed more like a YouTube conspiracy theory. Don't be surprised, Pamela. They do anything to save their profit margin. It's a business after all, but I only told you this, even though it puts me in grave danger, because I know how it feels to deal with such a disease. I want to help you if you want to solve your problem, but to do so, we're going to have to repeat the research of my colleague back then. Are you in? Needless to say, I would have gone to the ends of the earth to find a solution to my problem, so I said yes. And so our quest began, but there was one thing that was bugging me from the very start. We knew that the herpes simplex virus appears to be harsher on some people than on others. So what's behind this? I spent days, even weeks, browsing forums, reading articles, and consulting with Dr. Smith. Everything seemed very bleak, and I felt like I wouldn't live to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I almost gave up a few times, but there was always something to remind me why I was going through that. The cold sores on my face, constantly there, constantly reappearing and wrecking my self-esteem and health. So I kept going, and much to my surprise, we stumbled upon a discovery that has left both myself and Dr. Smith speechless and is currently shaking the very core of modern medicine when it comes to the herpes simplex virus. You see, according to the top scientists at California Institute of Technology and from the Beckman Research Institute of City of Hope, the reason why these herpes outbreaks are milder and appear less often in some people is due to the levels of a certain bacteria that dwells in your gut, called the Bacteroides fragilis. Now, if the levels of this bacteria reach a certain percentage, it becomes toxic for your gut and entire digestive system, which is why it was ignored by scientists for so long. However, when the levels of Bacteroides fragilis are normal, it allows it to secrete a substance called capsular polysaccharide A, or PSA for short. This substance, as these genius researchers have found, also helps reduce the inflammation caused by the HSV-1 and HSV-2 strains of the herpes simplex virus. Or in plain English, PSA produced by the Bacteroides fragilis helps your body fight off the herpes simplex virus. This is the reason why some people seem to be more affected than others. It's because their immune system is weaker than average, and their gut flora cannot sustain and produce enough PSA to fend off the herpes simplex virus properly. This PSA acts like a herpes destroyer, and it brings forth other cells that stop the immune system from overproducing inflammation triggered by this terrible virus. These elements form a defensive circle that protects the body from head to toe, from inflammation to even cognitive decay and brain-related diseases. So basically, what I'm trying to say is this. In the majority of people, the herpes simplex virus stays hidden until it considers your immune system to be weak enough to attack it successfully. This is when the inflammation and cold sores usually appear. Since no two people's bodies are quite the same, some people can be stronger than others and more resistant to these attacks. The difference is in the levels of these Bacteroides fragilis in their gut and how strong their gut flora is. So the only way your autoimmune system will be able to fight the inflammations correctly and fend off the herpes virus is if the correct amount of PSA is produced. Now, there's something else you should know. All your life, Big Pharma kept selling you the same lie over and over again. Acyclovir and its variations are the only thing that can help you with this seemingly incurable virus. But throughout my research, I discovered something so shocking, it's no wonder very few people know about it. So please listen, because this is going to save you a lot of time, money, and especially pain. Did you ever notice that after using this drug, it has very little effect? Not only that, but the pain spikes up after every use of this so-called remedy. This is because after using it for a good period of time, your body can start building up resistance towards the chemicals found in it, especially if your immune system is not strong enough. And it doesn't stop there. Recent studies confirm that acyclovir can even damage your gut flora. If you put two and two together, you'll figure out that the very thing you're supposedly meant to use to kill the virus is the very thing that can help it grow stronger. But that's not even the worst part. It can also lead to acute kidney injury. Imagine if this happened to you. Not only will you have to deal with herpes, but with failing kidneys too. Just think about it. People buy and use these big pharma drugs without even knowing the horrible side effects they can experience. It's outrageous. Needless to say, this discovery left me in shock. I didn't know what to do with this information since I wasn't very in the know with the medical stuff, but I knew someone who was. I immediately called Dr. Smith and told him about my findings. I could hear the excitement in his voice as I told him about the PSA found in gut flora and its ability to fight off the herpes virus. He now understood what his colleague was trying to say to him. Now that we know what the reason behind the severity of the virus is, we can start working on a solution, Dr. Smith said to me. And that's how our journey started. We knew that only a natural compound would be the perfect solution to fend off the herpes simplex virus. To put it simply, we needed to come up with a mixture that would support the PSA generating good bacteria in the gut and that would rejuvenate the entire body. Since the cold sores usually appear when your immune system is fragile or when you're stressed or go through hard moments, we needed to create a potent mixture that would regulate all these imbalances in the body. We worked for weeks, studying what ingredients could be added to the mix in order to make this work wonders for the body. Since I owned a beauty salon, I used my expertise from there to help Dr. Smith choose only the best natural ingredients that both heal and rejuvenate the skin. After extensive research conducted by Dr. Smith, his team, and myself, we came up with a list of powerful elements that are sure to shield your body and help it fend off the HSV-1 and HSV-2 viruses. Not only that, but we wanted to add something extra for a change, for a holistic approach, so the entire body benefits off of this health-packed formula. I'm sure you must be asking yourself, well, what are we waiting for? What does this contain that makes it so powerful, and how is it going to work for me? Let's take it easy and see how this never-before-seen formula will help your organism in its entirety. To start things off, we decided to add fenugreek as our base ingredient. The reason behind our choice is the incredible effect it has on your gut's flora and PSA, which is the main protector that helps your body kill the virus. Fenugreek has extremely powerful antioxidant properties. This is why it will continue to a better and healthier gut, which in turn will provide a safer environment for your organism to generate the much-needed PSA to rid your body of the herpes virus once and for all. It is also scientifically proven to reduce inflammation, so no more cold sores and itchy skin. The next ingredient on our list is L-tyrosine. This bad boy helps your body produce enzymes, and we really need that if we want the PSA to be strong enough to protect you from the outbreaks. Luckily, L-tyrosine does exactly that in a number of ways. The most important one would be that it acts as a stress reliever and has antidepressant action, making you less susceptible to eruptions and cold sore outbreaks. We decided to sprinkle in a little bit of saw palmetto as well, a species of palm that is packed with health benefits. Its purpose is quite straightforward. It reduces inflammation, so it actively helps to kill the herpes simplex virus, defending you from cold sores or unwanted rashes. Next, we added oat straw. This simple yet highly potent element has the power to exponentially improve your brain function and protect you from anxiety and stress, making your nervous system stronger and more able to defend itself from the herpes simplex virus and its effects. The final main ingredient we used was Mexican wild yam. Why, you might ask? Well, when we noticed how potent this thing was, we never thought twice about it. Mexican wild yam is known to be rich in vitamins and minerals, ready to be there and strengthen your gut and overall immune system so the PSA does its job efficiently. This plant can reduce inflammation and improve brain function, doing all the good work in order for you to never worry about herpes again. Lastly, the Mexican yam can even reduce your blood sugar, building a stronger body that can uphold a healthy gut flora. But we didn't want to stop at killing the virus. All of these ingredients have a ton of other benefits, and they act as mood regulators, sleep improvers, collagen generators for a softer, more beautiful skin and hair, and they can even go as far as to improve your circulation. We wanted you to benefit not only from the erasure of the herpes simplex virus from your system, but from the good side effects as well. We believe in total rejuvenation of the body and state of mind, so you can live the happy, joyful life you deserve. These ingredients, along with several others, have been carefully researched and selected to be a part of our potent, rejuvenating capsule that is 100% guaranteed to help you kill the herpes simplex virus that has been messing with your life for too long. All of these elements are going to contribute to the strengthening of your immune system and shield you against the herpes virus. As we didn't want to stop there, we tried finding the ingredients that help your whole body, hair, and skin so you can feel unstoppable and beautiful. This is how this formula in the form of a capsule was created. Now all that was needed was someone to test this one. As you can imagine, I was the perfect subject since outbreaks kept happening to me on a regular basis. Once a day, in the morning, I had to swallow one of these capsules with a big glass of water. Dr. Smith told me that I had to repeat this process every day for a few weeks, and then we'd see what happened. I knew it wasn't going to work overnight, but I had my hopes up from the very start. However, in the first few days since I started taking it, I didn't even see any inkling of potential results. I had started taking it right as an outbreak happened, which may be why in the first few days I didn't notice anything. After the third day, I was starting to get discouraged. Luckily, Dr. Smith was there to cheer me up. "Let's get past the first week and see if something changes after that," he told me patiently. And what do you know? He was right. A few days later, I woke up and the cold sores were gone. The cold sores that used to last for 2 weeks in the best cases were now gone in what seemed like an instant. I couldn't even see the marks. It felt like they were never there. Not only that, but I noticed something else too. My skin. The skin I used to put tons of products on was now softer and better looking than ever. And don't get me started on the hair. Whenever I brushed, it felt soft, it had more volume, and there were barely any hairs left caught in my brush too. Needless to say, I jumped in joy and I called Dr. Smith immediately to tell him about the wonderful results I was experiencing. But this was just the first step. We went on dedicated forums and looked for people in the area who were willing to try the product themselves. We managed to gather somewhere around 80 test subjects, men and women, and gave each of them a daily form to fill in order for us to properly be able to follow their progress. I thought that it would take them more than 2 weeks to send us the first reports. I was stunned to see that even after a few days we were contacted and told that the mix started working wonders on people's outbreaks. Dr. Smith himself was staggered to see how incredibly visible and quick the results were. People told us that they felt less anxious and stressed, they felt rejuvenated throughout the whole day, and their skin and hair felt better than ever before. As for myself, I wanted to keep going to see what would happen. And in 2 weeks, a time span during which I would have experienced about 2 outbreaks, everything seemed like a distant nightmare. No cold sores, and every day I woke up with more and more energy, looking better by the day. Not to mention, I think I lost about 10 pounds in that time. I felt healthy again, and it truly felt like the herpes was just something that happened decades ago, something I could joke about and make fun of during a date. But we wanted to run a few more clinical tests. We saw the results it had on my skin in our 80 volunteers, but we needed to see if the inside was as healthy as the outside. Dr. Smith took a blood sample from me and studied it over the course of a few days in his lab. The results? No trace of HSV1 or HSV2 in it. I was finally free from the shackles of herpes. Having seen the results of this supplement, we knew we had to go public with this, especially considering the fact that all of the people that took part in the tests kept coming back for more, whether it was for them or their friends and family. But if we did do that, we had to make absolutely sure that as many people as possible would be able to get their hands on this, since it was nothing less than a miracle for those of us who had tested the product. If we produced it ourselves, it would have taken us weeks, even months, and thousands of dollars to source the only highest quality plants and extract the purest, most refined ingredients. And even like that, we would have only managed to create enough tablets to last less than 50 people for about a week. We knew we needed to contact a manufacturing facility in the US, for which we would provide the ingredients, and they would be able to take care of the entire process. Now, before we moved on with this, I had only one request that was not up for discussion. If we did this right, with the highest quality ingredients. No compromises of any sorts, Only the best products were to go into this potent mixture, sourced only from local growers who used no pesticides or herbicides whatsoever and let their plants mature naturally. Thanks to Dr. Smith's network, we managed to find a pristine, FDA-approved and GMP-certified facility that made us jump with joy for 2 reasons. 1, it had incredibly strict disinfection protocols, so any dangerous bacteria or germs were kept at bay. And 2, it was as discreet as it was large, so we could go forth with the process without worrying too much about Big Pharma hearing about our groundbreaking discovery. Our blend is 100% natural, and due to this, we didn't need any approval from government agencies in order to produce this formula. And so, we decided to call it Blisterol, the only 100% natural mixture that helps you fend off the effects of the HSV-1 and HSV-2 viruses and gives your body the energy and refill it needs to make you feel less anxious, less stressed, and more energetic and ready to face the day every step of the way. Every drop of this product is 100% natural and manufactured right here in the USA. It does not contain any dangerous stimulants or toxins and will not get you addicted. Well, we can't promise you won't be addicted to its results, though. Created by combining 13 different ingredients, carefully selected for their incredible effects, and mixed in the perfect amounts, this supplement is guaranteed to help you fend off the herpes simplex virus and will surely help you feel strong and confident in your body again. Not only that, but Blisterol has been clinically proven to help you with your anxiety and stress, and can even help you with hair loss and clear your skin. As for the side effects, the only one you'll be experiencing is pure joy every single day for the rest of your life. This herpes solution is guaranteed to help you with your outbreaks and guide you towards the peaceful, happy, herpes-free life you've always dreamed of. But there's no need to take our word on it. Just listen to what other 132,000 other people, and counting, have had to say about their experience with Blisterol. For example, Brooke Jennings, 39, from New York, told us this. When I first got diagnosed with HSV-2, I thought my life was over. I immediately panicked and I started looking for viable treatments. Much to my surprise, none of them seemed to work. I was completely devastated. That was until I stumbled upon this solution. I must admit, I was a little skeptical at first, but after seeing the amazing results of Blisterol, that wasn't a problem anymore. The outbreaks that used to ruin my life are now just a memory, and I have to thank you for that. Or Jessica Leonard, 44, from New Jersey, who said, "Your supplement is a literal lifesaver. For the past 2 years, I thought I would never be able to find someone who would be willing to be intimate with me. I became lonely and depressed. I didn't want to see anybody, much less try and date. The HSV-1 and HSV-2 viruses were ruining me, both physically and mentally. And obviously, there was no cure that could work for me. Except Blisterol, the only solution that did something to change me. I felt rejuvenated in a few days since starting the program, and I will forever be indebted to you. Thank you, a million times thank you." And Peter Burton, 41, from North Carolina. Week after week, for 1 year straight, I've been struggling with cold sores. My body was weak, and my immune system wasn't strong enough to fight the virus. Remedies such as acyclovir started having zero effect on me, and I truly felt helpless. That was until Blisterol came into my life. With only 1 capsule a day, all my problems were gone. No more cold sores, no more anxiety or stress, nothing. It was nothing short of a miracle for me. I'm glad I decided to get my hands on it when I did. These are only a few of the hundreds of messages I receive daily, and it always brings me joy to read them. All you have to do, in order to be as healthy and happy as the people you just heard, is to start using this amazing formula immediately. It's more simple than you think. And in the next 2 minutes, I will show you how to get access to everything. After hearing these success stories, it should come as no surprise that Blisterol is superior to every other so-called solution on the market when it comes to herpes. Everything that is out there at the moment only works short-term, and they're either way too expensive or they don't address the root cause. However, this supplement is completely different. Not only is it natural, non-GMO, and easy to use, but it is proven to be completely efficient when it comes to fending off the HSV-1 and HSV-2, keeping them at bay. Just think about it. The herpes simplex virus has always been considered to be impossible to get rid of by modern medicine, and the only treatments people ever considered were acyclovir and its other variants. But that is no longer the case. because Blisterol gives your body the nutrient boost it needs to stop the cold sore outbreaks from happening and helps you deal with your stress, anxiety, and mood swings while strengthening your hair and making your skin look like $1,000,000. Before you say yes to the product that is guaranteed to change your life for the better, you should ask yourself, how much would I be willing to pay for full control over my life and health? $100,000? $50,000? $10,000? Now, despite the fact that Dr. Smith advised me to sell the 30-day supply of Blisterol at $8.97, factoring in the time we spent researching this product and the tests that we have run, my friend Eliza suggested the price of $5.97 after seeing how changed of a person I am now. And not to mention, our suppliers mentioned the price of $3.97 just for how high quality the ingredients are. The thousands of people that tried this product even said that they would pay triple its price due to how amazing the results were. But neither myself nor Dr. Smith are in this for the money. I'll never forget how I felt during those weeks when I suffered the outbreaks. The sleepless nights, the endless pain, and the depression I was in. Those I will always remember. I never want anyone to go through the same pain I did. That's exactly why I'll never ask for $8.97, $5.97, $3.97, or even half of that. I just want to cover the cost of the ingredients and keep the site up and running for as long as possible. Sadly, in order to do that, I may have to charge $97 for one bottle of this formula soon. Now, while this site remains up and running, which may not be a long time considering that Big Pharma would give anything to shut down this efficient and cheap solution, you can now get your 30-day supply of Blisterol for a one-time, 100% risk-free investment of no more than $69. Yes, you heard me right. $69 for this effective, simple, and yet incredibly potent method of protecting yourself from herpes. Now, there's something else you should know. That is, if you order the 3 or 6 month packages, you get an even bigger discount. What both Dr. Smith and I have observed and experienced the effects of this potent mixture firsthand, as well as the other initial brave volunteers, not to mention the 132,000 other people who have become the success stories of this wonderful solution and have completely forgotten how it feels like to have herpes. This is why we recommended using this incredible mixture for 90 days, just to make sure that you are 100% shielded from the dangerous, life-threatening HSV-1 and HSV-2 viruses. It is impossible for us to know how weak your immune system is and how little PSA is generated in your gut. This depends on your age, stress levels, diet, and many other factors that we can't possibly estimate. This is why, after all the testing we've done, we highly recommend you get your hands on at least 3 bottles of Blisterol so you can see the amazing results yourself. Especially because it will take a little over 70 days for this product to completely help your immune system regenerate and become strong enough to fight the herpes simplex virus. 3 bottles of this are going to work wonders on your gut flora and your immune system as a whole, but we're not going to stop there, are we? The 6-bottle package, however, is all you need. Not only will you stop experiencing the annoying outbreaks, but your mind will be healed as well. No more stress, anxiety, mood swings, or any other problems of this kind. Not to mention, you'll be protected from cognitive decay and other brain-related issues such as degenerative cognitive disorders. Plus, your hair and your skin will be completely rejuvenated. In no time flat, you'll have stronger, more nourished hair and softer, shinier skin than ever before. But there's one aspect you should always remember. Missing just one day of this refill can jeopardize months of progress, and the cold sores will run wild again. Considering all that, my advice would be, don't risk running out of Blisterol. It's just not worth risking everything simply because you missed one day of this potent supplement. Also, you should know that Blisterol sells very fast, and once it's sold out, it's going to take as long as 9 whole months to get another batch ready, since we're only looking for the best ingredients. We are still going to support you however we can, though. That is why we're letting you order the 3 and 6 bottle packages at a huge discount. Another thing you should know about our supplement is that it is not available anywhere in stores or other online platforms. This site is the only place you'll be able to secure your stock at the cheapest price possible. On top of that, once you order today, you will be spared the shipping costs. Look below this video and select your package now. You will then be directed to a 100% secure checkout page. For your convenience and safety, we are using a payment software that is used by the top bank systems too, which means all your data is 100% protected. You can choose to pay via credit, debit card, or even PayPal. After you fill in your information and confirm your order, your shipment is going to arrive discreetly and swiftly at your doorstep. And again, If you order the 3 or 6 bottle package, you will receive a huge discount. Hurry, as we're probably going to run out of stock very, very soon. Remember, your order today is a simple one-time payment with no hidden fees or subscriptions and is guaranteed to change your life completely. Blisterol is only available for purchase on this site and this site only, so this is your one-time chance to get your hands on it. Also, one more time, missing just one day of Blisterol can compromise your entire progress, so once you buy it, you wouldn't want to run out of it. Look, the herpes industry is currently estimated at $4.8 billion, thanks to the honest people who have been cluelessly buying their useless and expensive treatments. That number is expected to double over the next decade. No wonder big pharmaceutical conglomerates are hunting down every alternative solution on the market that can conveniently help you with your problem. All that effort just so we can continue using their overpriced, useless products. I get threats from these filthy rich conglomerates on a daily basis. After all this hard work and pain, risking your safety isn't something that you can allow to happen for a long time. You should know what I'm talking about. So I urge you to choose Blisterol today, while you still can, while I can still keep this site living in spite of Big Pharma's pushback. Save your skin, and even more, your health, happiness, and peace of mind. I understand if you're feeling skeptical right now. You must have tried a lot of methods, but to no avail. None of them seem to work. Plus, you probably spent more money than you can even count on useless creams and treatments. But all of that ends here on this page. I am so confident that this will work that I'm going to offer you a risk-free 60-day money-back guarantee. If after using this solution you don't see any improvement in your oral health, or if you're simply not happy enough with the results, we'll offer you a full refund, no questions asked. Just contact us within 60 days after your purchase, and you will get all your money back. It doesn't matter if you use the whole bottle. I will personally see that you get every single penny back. After all, you have 2 whole months to decide if Blisterol is good enough for you. No hidden fees whatsoever. A simple, secure, and 100% risk-free investment. All you have to do is choose the offer that you think would suit you best from below. It somehow feels you're now at a crossroads, wondering which path you should take. The first path would mean to stop watching this video and leave this page. You do nothing and keep going just the way you are now for who knows how long. But your herpes is not going to simply vanish out of thin air, is it? You're going to experience the same debilitating cold sores, outbreaks after outbreaks, and no treatment under the sun is going to heal the damage this virus will do on your skin. Your life will always be at risk because of the inflammation the virus creates in your brain, since your immune system isn't going to be strong enough to fend it off. Trust me, I've been there. Now, the second path is completely different, and quite honestly, this is the only one that actually makes sense for you. Get this product right now, and you will be stunned by how easy it is to be happy and healthy again. No more outbreaks, no more bad skin or anxiety. Mood swings and stress will be things of the past, while the annoying outbreaks on your skin will become a distant nightmare. You'll finally be able to free yourself from the shackles of herpes, and who knows, maybe find the confidence to be intimate with someone again. Click the button below, choose your preferred package, enter your payment details, and place the order right now. We will ship the bottles straight away, right to your doorstep. No shipping charges, no hidden fees, nothing. It's absolutely guaranteed to change your life. I can't wait for you to become one of the tens of thousands of success stories of Blisterol. Still here? Amazing. That means I have time to answer some of your questions about our supplement. Can you tell me how this works again? Recent studies have shown that the reason why some people experience stronger herpes outbreaks than other people is because of a tiny bacteria called Bacteroides fragilis and the substance it produces, PSA. People who have weakened immune systems cannot benefit from the complete PSA production, hence the cold sores that appear on their skin. However, Blisterol offers your immune system the boost it needs in order to properly fight the herpes simplex virus that is currently inflaming your brain and prevents the cold sore outbreaks, while helping your hair, skin, and mental fortitude. Is it safe to use? This supplement has been created for all ages or medical conditions, and it addresses the root cause of your outbreaks. The most important thing you can do today is to get your hands on this powerful mixture in order to safely fight HSV-1 and HSV-2. It has all the high-quality products and nutrients that you need. Plus, it is manufactured in a highly sterile, FDA-approved and GMP-certified facility. Every ingredient that went into these bottles has been tested for purity, and their qualities have been ensured by certified scientists. However, if you do have a medical condition or are currently taking other prescription medication, we strongly advise you to show a bottle of this formula to your doctor prior to taking it, just to make sure everything is in order. How do I take Blisterol? Just one capsule taken every morning after breakfast with a big glass of water is sure to activate all the potent substances in this mixture that will immediately act to provide your body with the shield it needs to protect you from the outbreaks. Plus, it's going to do you the world of good when it comes to stress, mood changes, or low energy, so don't miss out. Give your body the boost it needs today. What if it doesn't work for me? Can I know more about the 60-day guarantee? Looking at the amazing results of this formula, we strongly believe that it holds the power to rejuvenate your immune system. Now, we know that not everything works for 100% of the people trying it, since everyone's organism responds differently. This is why we set this ironclad guarantee. If, for any reason, you are dissatisfied with the results of our product, within 60 days, simply return what you have not used for a full refund. No questions asked, no hidden fees, simple as that. How long will it be available for? This is a very tricky question, but I'm glad it's here. There are a lot of cases in which the medical industry showed us that Big Pharma is not afraid to spend millions of dollars in order to remove something so revolutionary and groundbreaking from the market. After all, wouldn't you spend all this money in order to save a $4.8 billion industry? So all you have to do to be sure is to click the link below today. Fill in your details, submit your order, and become one of the success stories today.